Good morning, everybody. Man, we've already got Miss Sharon. Good morning. Glad to have you here. Michael, good morning to you. It is Friday, and I tell you what, I've got an easy day today, hopefully. I'm going to say that, but knock on wood. Don't have a ton to do. We've got an epoxy job we're working on for a guy. I got to go up there. There's a small, we did this epoxy like 15 years ago, and there's a couple spots in his laundry room that some spots had chipped like 15 years. It's been on like 15 years. So I went in yesterday, ground some of those spots that needed to be patched, that kind of stuff, and put the color coat on, the flakes and all that. So today I've just got to go sweep it up and put a clear coat on it, and then I'm done with that. And then next week we're going to start doing his garage floor. He's got a big, like, it's a 3-car garage, about 1,000 square feet, and we're going to epoxy it, do a flake system, clear coat, all that stuff. So after this, I want to run, put a clear coat on, and then come down here, and I plan on working on some fencing, getting some more electric fence put up to keep the dogs in the pasture where they need to go. But how is everybody doing this morning? Don't forget, hit the thumbs up, all of that good stuff. Let them know to suppress us and all that. But what's everybody got planned for today? What has everybody got planned for the weekend? We've got a few plans this weekend. Of course, we do. We've started back doing Sunday dinner. Everybody will come over on Sunday afternoon, eat dinner, hang out, and do all that. We will probably go swimming at my parents' house. Live chat or all messages, y'all. Yes. But we'll probably go swimming a couple times at my parents' house. But I tell you what, the weather, like this morning when I got up to move the animals, it was like 68 degrees or something like that. I'm like, it is still cool for, almost the end of June here in Kentucky, and then rain and all that. I don't know if it's going to rain today, but I don't think it didn't rain yesterday. So who knows? But I tell you what, yesterday was an amazing day. The high, I think it got up to like 60, or I think it was like 76 degrees, something like that. So that, and it was overcast most of the day, and then got sunny in the afternoon. It was an amazing day, as long as you didn't want to swim or do anything like that. So let me see. Melanie, good morning. She finally got the electricity on last night about midnight. Yeah, Melanie handles a lot of our social media stuff for Kentucky Sustainable Living. She does most anything you see on the Facebook page. Melanie is posting that, and she sent me a text yesterday. She's like, we had all these high winds last night, and we don't have power. There's trees down and all this. And she's like, if I don't get a lot posted, I'm sorry. And I was like, hey, don't worry about that. I was like, get everything back going, get power, all that stuff, and worry about that. And then you can go back to doing social media. But Melanie, I'm glad you have power now. It always sucks when you don't have power. Michael Hamilton, it's 55 here now. Yeah, it's like, it was like 69 this morning when I was moving animals and everything. And let me see. Yeah, we're at 73. We're only going to get to 86 today. So it's still going to be a nice day. Good morning, Bill. How are you? Miss Sharon, I'll be working in the garden, chicken coop, but in short spurts at this time. It's going to be hot. Yeah, it'll be 86 today, and then it said like 92 Saturday, something like that. Saturday we got a cookout to go to. One of my wife's friends, they're having a cookout, so we're going to run and do the whole cookout thing tomorrow. But guys, if y'all weren't in last night in the live that we did last night with Shelly, Leslie from the School of Earth and All, and Jane, I call her the sourdough queen of Nashville. She kind of gets funny about it. She's like, I didn't know I was that. And I was like, I'm just playing. I was like, but Jane was in there. We did a live with them. They're going to be at the festival. Jane is going to be doing sourdough bread, dispelling some of the myths and showing you how easy it is actually to do sourdough bread. So she'll be there. And then, of course, Leslie will be there doing all kinds of herbal stuff. She's going to be doing some mini consultations. She's going to be doing some plant walks, actual workshops, hands-on stuff. So go back, take a look at that live. Drop a comment in there. If you got a comment for it, I will get you some answers on that. So our shepherds. Good morning, Mike. I'm assuming it's going to be Mike because most of the time it's Mike in the morning and not Jennifer. And Miss Sharon, I was listening along but couldn't chat. Some good info. Thank you, Miss Sharon. Yeah, you hit right there at the end. I saw where you made a comment. And Forrest, morning, waiting for a plumber to install a new mop sink at the restaurant and making sure the first time mom takes care of her new calf. Yes, I saw you posted just on Facebook a few minutes ago that you had another bull calf. Congratulations. So, good morning, Greg Skeens. Greg, what are you working on today? Greg is a mechanic, like a heavy equipment mechanic, and I always like knowing what he's working on. So, and yes, our shepherds, it's Mike. So, guys, hey, one thing, and I will tell you this, the rest until the end of the month, whoever buys a ticket for the festival is registered to win a spot in the refuge class. There is, I hold, and we were kidding last night, I've got the golden ticket. So I've got the last ticket to the refuge class, and the only way that you can get that spot in the refuge class is if you buy a ticket for the festival and if you win it. So you've got, today's the 20th, you've got a few more days to get your ticket and be entered to win that thing. So get your ticket and hopefully you can win a spot in the refuge class. Good morning, Shelly. Shelly must not be doing a bunch of training today because she's in here commenting. She said last night, she's like, I am worn out. I've done training all day. It was fun, but I'm tired. So then Melanie, this weekend is going to be all about the garden and weeds. So many weeds and all the rain is going to make it worse. Yeah, exactly. So I need to go down. Honestly, I need to go down and spend a couple hours in the food forest, getting some stuff cleaned up down there. It just needs it. The food forest kind of runs on autopilot, and but you still need to go down there every so often and do some weeding and stuff like that. My strawberries in the older part of it have taken over as far as ground cover, so not a lot of weeds come up. But every now and then you'll have something that comes up. So, you know, maybe if you spend like once every 2, maybe 3 weeks going down there for like an hour and do a little bit of weeding and cut some stuff you don't want out, that's really all you've got to do on it. So I'm excited. I've got some pears coming in on one of the trees. We got some peaches coming in. So I'm happy about that. I think the frost hit most of the apples, so we're probably not going to have but maybe a handful of apples out there. And Shelly says, I do not have any trainings or meetings today. Thank the Lord. Shelly, I hope it'll be an easy day for you. Shelly got a wood chipper. Randy, her husband, sent me a picture of a wood chipper. He's like, look what I got. And I was like, dude, that's sweet. It's like a smaller, it's small enough it'll fit in the bed of the truck. But I mean, it's still, Randy had posted some pictures of him using it and stuff like that. And then Shelly texted me. She's like, guess what I got? And I was like, a wood chipper. And I was like, Randy sent me a picture already. So Shelly will probably be using her wood chipper this weekend. Shelly says, I'm super excited. My blackberries in the food forest are heavy with berries. I've got a bunch of blackberries where I haven't ran the sheep and the cow over in one spot. The blackberries have come back and there's a bunch of berries. I'm probably going to pick some of those and do something with them. I'm not a huge fan, but they're good. And Miss Sharon, a small wood chipper would be handy. Yes, it would come in handy a lot. I mean, I hate a lot of times I'll just take sticks and stuff like that and pile them up and burn them. But if you could turn them into chips and something you could use, that would be amazing. So, but all right, festival. We covered the refuge class is sold out. So if you want to get in that, get a ticket and you'll be registered to win. Go ahead and get your tickets. I mean, we've been bumping. People have been buying tickets left and right on stuff. Also, all our first aid supplies are in stock. Kits are in stock. The only thing we're out of stock is red IFAKs. I've got to order a few more of those. But everything else is in stock. And I want to show you something cool. We had one of our customers, he ordered a vehicle med bag and an IFAK last week. And we had he wanted a red one. I called him. I was like, I do not have a red IFAK. We sold the last one and I didn't have time to take it off and put it out of stock. He was like, man, he said, that's fine. He said, do whatever. He said, do a different color. I was like, what color do you want? He told me what color. We got him fixed up. And as we were talking, he was like, hey, I work for a tree trimming company. My boss had talked about doing some first aid kits. He's like, do you have anything like an OSHA compliant kit? And I told him, I was like, we've done one in the past. I put one together for somebody else. And he's like, can you send me all the info on it? And we were talking. I was like, the other one we were going to do was in like a bag, kind of like an EMT bag. That's what the other people wanted. So they did. He was like, no, he said, we're tree trimming. He's like, what if we do like a hard case? And I was like, that's perfect. I said, we can do a hard case. And so we did a condition 1 case with it. And I'm going to pull it out here in just a second. So we did this. And I am super excited about this joker. That is the OSHA compliant kit. It's a condition 1 case. It's made in Texas. So it's made in the United States. It's IP67 rated. So it's dust proof and waterproof down to 3 feet. So, I mean, literally you can throw this thing in the bed of your truck. It can rain on it. It can bounce around. Nothing's going to hurt on it. And we will crack this thing open. And to be honest with you, this is going to ship out to him today. I've got to stick it in the box and tape it up. I've already got the label done. So I'm going to take it to the post office whenever the post office, or I'll drive by the post office on the way to the job. So I'm going to drop these off. But after I got this thing put together in this case, I liked it so much. I called condition 1 and put in an order for me one for my personal one. So I'm going to have one of these on my job sites. I'll probably wind up putting it in my job trailer that we keep on most of the jobs. But you can see it's got organizers. You've got 3 different pockets up here. I organized this kind of the way I would want it organized. Right here is 2 cat tourniquets that are easy to get to. Right here is a lot of your alcohol wipes, sting and bite pads, stuff like that. In behind here, there's a first aid guide in there. There's chest seals and compressed gauze in that pocket. But everything is here right where you can get easy access to it. This thing has got, I mean, it's crazy the capacity and the stuff that you've got in this kit. And plus, the cool thing is it's all waterproof. That kit is made in Texas, so it's a United States thing. Miss Sharon, where can I find a link to the website? It's KentuckySustainableLiving.com. I guess you could punch it in and just copy and, well, it won't let you copy and paste it in here. I've got to make you, Miss Sharon, after this is over, we will talk, and I'm going to get you set up as a moderator. And then when Grit and Grace gets in here, I'm going to get them to be a moderator too. So, but yeah, the OSHA kit, those things, let me see what they're going for. I want to say those OSHA kits are going to wind up being $350 is what we were selling them for. So I'm going to stick those on the website probably this weekend. But yeah, like I said, that stinking thing is, I liked it so much. I was like, I'm going to order a kit for me. So I've got one of their cases coming, and I'm going to fit it out and stick it in the job trailer or probably the toolbox of the truck just to have an OSHA compliant kit. So, and going along with that, also, we are a dealer for Condition 1 now. I'm working with them to get their stuff on our website. So we're going to be selling Condition 1 cases. They sell all different types of cases. I mean, they've got stuff all the way smaller than that 179 that I just showed you, all the way up to stinking roll-on size luggage and everything. So let me see. Miss Sharon, I'm eating a handful of blueberries every morning off my $5 blueberry bushes. Yeah, that's the way to do it. I tell you, when I mow the yard, most of the time I go down, and as soon as I get close to the food forest, I will stop the lawnmower and jump off and grab a handful or two of strawberries and put them in a cup holder of the lawnmower and eat strawberries while I'm mowing the yard. It makes for a nice little snack. And Shelly says the one we got is good size. We got a great deal on it from an estate sale. And yes, Shelly says also, everyone make sure you're signed up for our newsletter. We're getting ready to release a bunch of new products after the festival, and you won't want to know. Exactly. And Bill says the cottontails are tender this time of year. All right. Yes, Michael Hamilton, sign up for the newsletter for sure. All right, Miss Sharon, you found the website. Miss Sharon, I don't know if it will let you post a link until you're a moderator in here. I've got to do a little bit of junk and I don't know, managerial stuff on YouTube and get some moderators in here where y'all can post stuff. But like I said, we'll probably get that done this weekend. Then let me see, Bill. By the way, my friends in Idaho who lost their nephew of 19 said thank you to everyone who helped them out on the GoFundMe, and I thank you as well. They said it's helped them out tremendously. Bill, I'm glad to hear that. I don't mind doing stuff like that, especially if it's somebody we know that we're going to help them. I will do that, and I'm glad that your friend has helped out. And yeah, Miss Sharon, it won't. Only mods can post the links. After this, we will see if we can do some stuff like that. So, but hey, let me see. Bear with me. All right. Bear with me, and let's see. Let's see if we can do it. Because Shelly, stay on here. I'm going to run over to Shelly's channel and see if we can do this. All right. Let's see. Ah, crap. Let's see. Copy channel ID. Let's see if this works. All right. Shelly, post something and see if it just made you a moderator. So I think it works. I want to put Shelly in and see if that works as a moderator. Yes, Shelly has been made a moderator. So when Shelly comments, we will see if it comes up, and she'll have like the little blue hammer or something like that. So, and Bill says, some jerk ran a stop sign and ran his motorcycle over. Didn't even slow down. That is sad. I mean, Bill, I'm sorry for your friends up there that lost their nephew. That's just horrible. So, all right. The other nice thing is one of the awesome things. I was talking to a lady. She is going to, she owns a coffee company. They're going to stay unnamed right now until everything's finalized, but it's pretty much a done deal. I was talking to her yesterday. She's going to send down a bunch of coffee for the charity auction that's going to be Saturday night for Caleb House. Go check out calebhouse.org. That is Bear, TJ, his ministry, their rehabilitation center that they're building, that they built and continue to build. So we're going to have that auction Saturday night. But she contacted me and she's like, hey, I want to be a part of the auction. So she's going to be sending a bunch of coffee down, some baskets and stuff like that. So we've got that. And then I started talking to her. I'm like, hey, I do a morning show 2 mornings a week. And I do a morning show 2 mornings a week. And I was like, it's called Clickbait and Coffee. And she was just laughing about it. She's like, that's stinking awesome. And I told her the story behind it, how it got named Clickbait and Coffee. And no, it is not Nicole. So, yeah, Bill, it's not Nicole. It's somebody else. But I talked to her and told her, and I was like, I need a coffee sponsor for the show. And she's like, I am more than happy to do that. She's like, I'm going to send you some of the coffee down. She's like, I'm going to send you a sample pack down right now and to try it out. So hopefully maybe Monday I'll have the coffee, and then we'll get everything figured out. So I'm super excited about that. So we're going to have a coffee sponsor for the show. So, and I will tell you all once I get it, who it is and everything. So, and as soon as Shelly types something, we'll make sure she's got a blue hammer. All right. Let me find. All right. All right. Question. Do y'all want to talk about the news, or do y'all want to talk about something else? So let's take a vote. If you want to hear about the news, type 1. If you want to talk about something else, type 2 in the comments. I've got stuff ready for news, but it's, I mean, literally the news is filled with Iran and Israel, what's going on over there. If y'all want to talk about something else, we can talk about something else. So tell me what y'all would like to talk about. Two, so something else. All right. Yeah, Bill says coffee is great. I drink 2 cups every morning. I have to be careful with the coffee because if I drink too much coffee, and I don't know what it is, the caffeine in coffee is different than the caffeine like I get with sweet tea. So I can drink, like, if I drink too much coffee, just plain caffeinated coffee, my blood pressure will go up, but I can drink tea all day. So a lot of the times I wind up drinking decaf coffee, but I like the taste of coffee. So all right. Everybody wants to talk about something besides the news. All right. I'm going to close all this crap out because I had a bunch of news stuff pulled up. So, all right. Shoot, I don't know. Bill had asked me about Bill had made a comment and wanted to talk about the chicken tractor on steroids or the chicken tractor on meth is what I named mine and everything. So, Bill, we'll talk about that on how to make compost. If y'all have watched Billy's channel, Permapastures Farm, or William's channel, the Permaculture Consultant, and William's going to be at the festival. So, I mean, if you want to talk to William in person, get a ticket for the festival. So I guess we'll kind of freestyle it, the chicken tractor on steroids or the chicken tractor on meth. Essentially, this system, you use your chickens to make compost for you, and also it will feed your chickens. It doesn't feed them all the way, but they get a good majority of food on that. Yeah, Bill, the news is depressing. It's more like reality TV. Yeah, and the thing that we'll jump down the rabbit hole. The thing that gets me about the news, since Israel attacked Iran, everybody's like, oh my gosh, the Bible, Revelation is being fulfilled. Russia's going to come in and they're going to get drug into the war like it says in Revelation. And then, it's all going to go, we're going to have peace, but really it's the Antichrist. And it's like all these people, every time something kicks off like that, everybody screams, oh my gosh, Revelations is coming true. It's like, dude, get prepared. Revelations is a no. It's like, okay, cool. We're going to go through that. Whether, no matter what you believe about the rapture or whatever, it's like, we know how the story ends. So it's like, if you're prepared, if you're prepared spiritually, it really doesn't matter if it kicks off in World War III and the Antichrist comes, because we know what's going to end. So it's like, stop saying this is the end of the world. I mean, but all right. And then as Miss Sharon says, I'm chopping and dropping comfrey over everything. Yes, I've got to do a bunch of that. So, and Melanie says, I finally got myself down to 2 a day, But since finding out about all the benefits of tea, I'm trying to incorporate it. First, I'm trying to learn to like it. I absolutely love tea. I could drink sweet tea 24/7, but I try not to. So, but all right, okay. Chicken tractor on steroids, chicken tractor on meth. Like I was saying, essentially, it's a composting system to where after it's up and running, you're going to produce 1 to 1.5 cubic yards of pretty stinking good compost every week. And it's also a feeding system. The chickens are eating the biota and all the little small creatures and stuff like that in the compost pile. So essentially what you do, you can do it if your chickens are mobile, like you're pasturing your chickens and moving them every day or every week. You can do it that way, or you can do it in a stationary system. I do mine in a stationary system because we don't rotate our chickens out on pasture or anything. I don't have the bandwidth to do it. So essentially what I've got is a circle. I took hardware cloth and some fence, just some regular, I think I took welded wire fence and then put some hardware cloth inside to where stuff would just not fall out. So I made the circle. I did all the math and everything to get essentially, it was almost about 2 cubic yards because once you start putting the stuff in, it's going to compact down and break down to where it's less than, a cubic yard. And you want to have at least 1 cubic yard of material in there because that gives it enough to heat up. So you've got your circle in there, and I've got videos on it too on the channel that you can go back and look. But essentially what you do is you start off with your carbon and nitrogen sources. I essentially did it 1-to-1. Yes, Shelly, it worked. So Shelly's a moderator. Now, Shelly, you can post all the links. You can post all that stuff. And then as soon as I'm done, Miss Sharon's going to get it. And then Melanie's going to get it too. So, but yeah, Shelly's an official mechanic, Melanie. So, and then Bill says, I have a stationary chicken yard, about 1/4 acre. Yeah. So what you do, you essentially take your circle, set it up. You do 1-to-1. I did pretty much 1-to-1 carbon and nitrogen sources. I would use a lot of wood chips. I would use grass clippings, throw some comfrey in there, throw your chicken bedding in there. Or if you've got animal manure, I've taken cow poop in there, chicken poop, all that. Put it all in there. And what you do is feed the chickens inside that. Like I would throw scrap vegetables, any chicken feed that I was going to feed them, throw it all in there, and you let that stay for a week. So they're doing that, and they're scratching in there and kind of churning it up and stuff. And it's hard to describe all of it. It's better if you can see it in person. And it's like Melanie said, Shelly and Jason's got great videos for their versions. So essentially, you let that in the wire enclosure. You let it sit there for a week. After a week, you take the enclosure out and you flip that pile. And what I did, if I had the enclosure here, I would take the pile. If I had the enclosure here, I would take everything and flip it over. Good morning, Jessica Willis. I would take it and flip it over here, and you pile everything up out of that. And then as you're doing it, you're watering it, making sure your moisture level's right. Essentially what you want is if you grab 2 handfuls of it and squeeze it together, you want like a drop to like 2 drops of water coming out of it, to drip out of your hands. That's kind of the moisture level you want. So you'll make a pile of the week-old stuff, reassemble your cage, and start over again. You're going to do the same thing in the cage. Put your carbon and nitrogen sources in there, feed your chickens in there and do that. And then the chickens will come in on the pile that you made and they'll scratch around, spread it around. So every day, what I would do is come in, rake everything back up and pile it back up. And those chickens are in there eating I think they call it the biota and the microorganisms. You can't see it. But they're in there pecking around doing that, getting any kind of food scraps that are left in there and eating off that. So essentially you're feeding your chickens for a lot cheaper. You can, if you're doing it right with vegetable scraps and food scraps, you're almost feeding your chickens for free. I would always make sure they got a little bit of grain and stuff in there, and then any food scraps, meat scraps, or anything, I would throw in there in the ring while they're eating on it. But so then week number 2, what you'll do is the pile that you've got, you flip it and move it on down. So then this pile is 3 weeks old. So it just keeps getting more broken down and more broken down, and the chickens are in there every day scratching around. You're going in there and raking it up and piling it back up every day. And you just essentially keep moving down. And after you, eventually you'll have your ring full and you'll have 3 other piles. So that last pile after a month is 100% complete compost. It's ready to do whatever. It's amazing what it'll do in 4 weeks from going just, everything. It was, straw, hay, wood chips, all that kind of stuff, to a month of it's broken down, ready to use, nice, awesome compost that it's broken down and it's ready to use on there. So essentially, after you get that last thing of compost done after your 4th week, if you keep this system going, you're going to produce 1 to 1.5 cubic yards of finished compost every week. And it's just like, man, this compost system, you'll have to put in a little bit of work with it, but it's not that bad a deal. I mean, for what you're getting, then you can do compost teas, you can do compost extracts. You can just take that, 1 to 1.5 cubic yards of compost and put it around your trees, put it on in your vegetable garden, top dress stuff, whatever you want to. I mean, it's just kicking stuff out. And also you're going to notice that your feed bill for your chickens is going to go way, way down, especially in the summertime. If you can feed them, vegetable scraps out of the garden, if you got some stuff, throw the stuff from the garden. If you've got an overabundance, or if you've got a tomato that, is rotten just a little bit or got some worms in it, throw it out there, let them eat it, because it's doing 2 things. It's doing, it's adding to your compost, one thing, for material in there. And it's also, if the chickens can eat some of it. So, I mean, it's a win-win on that. So it's an awesome system. Honestly, I started it up and ran it for quite a bit, and I got a ton of awesome compost with it. Shelly's seen it, the compost. We were putting it down on the trees and the bushes in the food forest, and they just went like gangbusters. So I need to start it back up. It's like, I've got so many irons in the fire. I don't want to start it right now just because there's a little bit of work in it. So, and then Melanie, that's one of the reasons I got as many chickens as I did, to help me make compost. Yeah. I mean, essentially your chickens are doing a lot of the work for you. You're really just coming in there at the end of the day and raking these piles back up to where it can heat back up. And then, yes, Mike, our shepherds, plus they poop in it and add extra nitrogen. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing what these little velociraptors can do for you as far as helping you on your farm, and they're doing all the heavy lifting. They're doing it, 1 or 2 scratches at a time, but you're not out there having to do it all the time. And Miss Sharon, I throw everything in the chicken run. They make some good compost in no time. Exactly. All right. Shelly, I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. Work is calling. See, Shelly's got a real job. Shelly makes fun of me sometimes. She's like, I've got a real job and you've got like a pretend job. And I was like, no, I just got a job that if I'm not working, I'm not making money sometimes. But I have the freedom to do some stuff like this. And I consider part of this as far as KSL and the business and the festival and first aid medical stuff. I mean, I consider that a job. That's part of it. So it's like I've got 2 jobs, honestly. All right. Questions on the chicken tractor on steroids or chicken tractor on meth, whatever you want to call it. When I did it, I didn't want to call it the chicken tractor on steroids and rip it off from Billy. So I was like, we're in Kentucky. Everybody, all these people or on meth all the time. So I was like, we'll just call it the chicken tractor on meth. And people got a laugh out of that. And Bill says, I'm very fortunate that my real job is the farm. Yeah. And Miss Sharon, YouTube alone is a job. I tell you what, honestly, doing YouTube and stuff, I'm not monetized on YouTube. I've got like the first little monetization things where you get to what to be the first step in monetization is 500 subscribers and I think 3,000 watched hours, and then you can do the memberships and you can do your store and stuff like that. I've got that easy. I've got plenty of subscribers. And then the second level to be fully monetized, where you get paid for ad revenue, is 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watched hours. To be honest with you, I have not hit 4,000 watched hours. I don't know what it is. I put out videos and I'm like, this video is going to rock and roll. It's going to get 100 million views. And it's like 28 views. I'm like, these people suck. So I'm like, why did it not go? So, but yeah, YouTube is, I mean, making videos, doing live stuff like that. Literally, and y'all know, 4 days this week, I'm on doing YouTube lives. I mean, we've done a live on Monday with people from the festival. Tuesday morning, I'll do this show. Wednesday, we had church. And then last night, we had a live. Shelly and I had Leslie and Jane on. And then this morning, we're live on this show. Next week, I'll be live 5 days. We don't have kids stuff on Wednesday night this Wednesday. So tactical response, I'll be live with tactical response on Wednesday. So essentially 5 days, 5 days next week, I'll be doing YouTube stuff. So yes, it is a job. I've got so many videos that I need to do. It's just like trying to find the time between the contracting business and then doing farm stuff and everything else. And then you have to have a life and spend time with your wife and your kid and everything like that. So it's like, yes, YouTube is a job for sure. And Michael Hamilton says, front end loader makes the flipping easy. Yes. And I did mine. The way I arranged mine is all in the front of the chicken run to where I could pull the tractor up there. So what I did on a lot of it, I had my cage right at the front. Good morning, Mike Shepard. I had my cage right at the front to where if I was putting wood chips in, I could go down to the wood chip pile and get a scoop of wood chips and drive up, put the tractor bucket over the fence and dump all my wood chips into the bin in the compost bin. And then I could do the same thing if I wanted to grab, if I was going to clean out the chicken coop and get bedding and stuff. I would pull the tractor over to the door of the coop and shovel everything in there. If I needed to go get manure or anything like that, I would, just go down there, put it in the bucket and dump everything in. So I could dump it from the outside of the coop and build my pile in the wire cage and do it that way. And then I fixed it to where my fourth pile, once the compost was 100% complete, down there, it was right at the gate to get into the chicken run. So essentially I could open up the gate, drive the tractor right up to that pile and just take my fork and my shovel and scoop all my finished compost into the tractor bucket and take it. And if I was going to stockpile some, I could stockpile it where I wanted to. Or if I was going to go ahead and just put it around trees, I could just drive the tractor down there right to the trees. If I couldn't drive the tractor right to the trees, I could drive the tractor close, fill up a 5-gallon bucket, and go in there and put the compost around those trees and do it that way. So, that's one thing. Setup is a big deal. Make it easy on yourself when you're setting this up. And the front end loader for sure makes everything easier. Miss Sharon, most of Scene Monetization put out a video 3 times a week, shorts almost every day, and weekly lives. That's a lot. Yes, 3. I tell you, doing 3 videos a week is a lot of work. It's I don't know. I'm a full-time contractor. I'm not a full-time YouTuber. And it's like Billy says, I'm a farmer first and a YouTube guy, kind of second or third, something like that. I enjoy doing this. Sometimes it's just, it's like I get in, I spend time with the family, do stuff like that. We eat dinner and stuff like that. And then if we're not doing a live at night, it's like, boom, I want to hang out with y'all for a while. And then once everybody goes to bed, it's 9 or 10 o'clock. And I'm like, I really don't want to go downstairs and shoot a video on this thing. So I've got to get better at it, and I will. We are putting out a lot of shorts, and I think Melanie is doing our shorts for us. She's cutting out some of our podcasts and some of our stuff and making shorts, and I could not do that without her. I thank her a ton doing that. And Bill says, I have some old welded wire fence that's 2x4 squares. Is that adequate wire? Bill, it will work. The only bad thing is those 2-inch by 4-inch squares, a lot of that stuff's going to leak out. Your wood chips and stuff like that are going to fall out. If you've got, I tell you, you could go get some like 1x1 or 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch hardware cloth, like they make, rabbit hutches out of, or you could get some chicken wire, some of the octagon chicken wire, and do it that way. Just take your welded wire and fix it, because it's going to be a lot more stable than your hardware cloth or your chicken wire. But do that and then put that on the inside. I just use zip ties and zip tied it on the inside to where the stuff wouldn't fall out, and do it that way. Or I tell you, I've seen some people use snow fence, like the yellow construction netting fence, the orange stuff. You could use that, just something to keep it from falling out. And Miss Sharon, I'm always in the middle of stuff before I even think about recording it. I'm a slacker. Yeah, and that's one of the things, is it literally takes 3 times as long to record something, to do something and record it, than it does to actually just do it. I mean, setting up shots and stuff like that. Like if you're gonna spread compost, like if you're gonna put compost out on some of your trees, and you're gonna take the tractor and do it, to get a real nice shot and everything, and you driving the tractor down to the trees, you've got to go set the camera up where you're going to be driving to, and then walk back, get on the tractor, and drive down through there while it's recording you. And then you've got to do all that. It just takes 2 or 3 times as long. So Bill says, I have mostly hay and grass clippings. Bill, that might work if you've got, I know the grass clippings and the hay are going to bind together and stuff, so it might not be too bad. Give it a try. I mean, the chickens are going to kick some of the stuff out regardless of what you use. So give it a try and see. Just make sure you got enough carbon sources in there. I use a lot of aged wood chips. I've got a wood chip pile that some of those wood chips they're darn near 2 years old. I mean, they've almost composted down on their own. But I use a lot of wood chips because we got a tree service here that whenever I need them, I call them. I'm like, hey, come dump a load or two down here and do that. Yeah, Miss Sharon, I know you can't do a link, but put what your YouTube channel is on here. So just do it, and then everybody will know, and at least they can search it that way. It's same as your name. It's MS Sharon. All right. So guys, go check out Miss Sharon's YouTube channel. All right, guys, what else have you got? All right. Miss Sharon, while we're in here, since it worked the first time, let's try it. Let's try it with you. Bear with me and we'll see. We'll see. Hey, Miss Sharon, so it's the same thing. Let me see. All right. Let me. And Miss Sharon, you just got one video. That. I don't think that's it. Crap. Trying to find it, Miss Sharon. All right. I don't see the. Y'all are going to have to help me. I don't see the logo. All right. Let me do this. That. All right. It is not coming up for me. All right. We're going to have to figure this out here in a minute. Let's see. Yeah, there is. I click on my name and chat. I have several. Click on my name. Stony Corner Farm, good morning. When I click on your name and chat, I only get the option to either, yeah. Yeah, well, I'm pulling it up. I'm pulling it up on, I've got my laptop going, and I'm on YouTube trying to find it. Let me see. Must be doing something wrong. I'm stupid on some of this stuff. Yes. All right. I have found it now. All right. I'm not as stupid as I thought. I checked my email and we've got it now. All right. Let's do this. Well, crap on a cracker. All right. Let's share the channel. Let's copy it. All right. Let's add. Paste. Save. Look, Mike Shepard's texting me. He's being helpful. All right. Okay. All right. Miss Sharon, you should be added, so let me know. Stony Corner Farm. I don't know. I'm on YouTube. I'm technically challenged on some of this. So, and it's funny to say, well, my laptop, I had a $200 HP laptop. I mean, it was like a $200 one from Walmart. Yes, Miss Sharon, we did it. It's amazing. I'm tech savvy. I'm going to put that on my resume. Now, I know how to make somebody a moderator on YouTube. So, all right. Okay. So, my tech savvy stuff, my $200 HP laptop that I got from Walmart, like crapped out. Like I would turn it on. Sometimes it would stay on for like a minute. And then sometimes it would stay on for like 30 minutes. And then it would give me this blue screen. It's like, we've encountered an error. We're restarting. I messed around figuring out how to do it. I'm like, I'm not going to spend any money on this and take it to the Geek Squad or anything, because it's like, I'm not going to spend any money on a $200 laptop. So I was like, do I want to buy a MacBook? Because all my other stuff, I'm doing this on an iPad. I've got an iPhone. I was like, do I want a MacBook, or do I just want to buy another Windows laptop? The MacBooks are freaking expensive. It was going to cost me, like, to get a MacBook Air and with like a small 13-inch screen, it was going to be like $700. Or I could go up to the nicer MacBook, which then you're looking, at least $1,000 or better. So I went and bought another HP laptop. I bought a nicer one. This one's got a 17-inch screen. I'm super happy smoking 17-inch screen, but I got it for $380. So the story about it is, like, I've done all my email. I do all my email on my phone or my iPad for stuff. And I'm old school as far as like my contracting business. We handwrite invoices and all that stuff. So I just handwrite the invoice, give it to the customer, and do it. I'm not emailing invoices and doing all this other crap. I just don't have time to learn to do it, and I hate doing the computer stuff. But like opening up emails, like an Outlook, like I opened it up and I'm looking and I'm like, I had to send something. I was emailing something to somebody, and I had to use the computer to do it because the file was on the computer. And I was like, I sat there and looked forever finding out how to do an attachment on this email. And I'm like, I know exactly how to do this on my phone or my iPad. But I sat there and I'm like, holy crap, I am so stupid. So I am not tech savvy whatsoever. And then another thing I need to do, I need to get a new stand for my iPad to get it closer. Shelly was fussing at me last night. She's like, you're super far away from the computer and everything. And I'm like, I bought another stand. It's not going to work. I've got to get another stand to put the iPad on to where I can bring it closer to me. I don't think it looks bad when I'm doing it by myself, but once you get like 2 to 3 people on StreamYard, Shelly's like, you're super small, and she's like, you need to make it closer. So that's something else I'm going to work on. I'll probably run to Best Buy this afternoon and check out and see if I can find another tripod or stand to put the iPad on where I can bring it closer and you can see my smiling face better. So guys, if y'all got any other comments, anything like that, we have done amazing work today. I figured out how to do moderators. I figured out on how to fix my new computer and do all this stuff. But what else have y'all got? If y'all don't have anything else, I'm going to go put clear coats on this floor and then come back. After I get that, come back and work on some electric fencing for the dogs and all kinds of fun stuff. Hopefully, if I get it right and get done early enough, I can take my youngest one swimming at my parents' house, and he's itching to go again. He swam. He was actually swimming last night. My wife took him down there while I was doing a live, so I could hear him when they came back through. I heard stomping upstairs. So, Miss Sharon says, I can't help with YouTube. I can help with YouTube, but know nothing about StreamYard. Yeah. But hey, StreamYard is the ticket, honestly, for doing live streams and stuff. I think I've done a live with YouTube one time. And StreamYard, somebody turned me on to it. It's amazing what you can do with StreamYard. I like it. And then Bill says, peaches and cream smoothie for breakfast. If I get enough peaches, I'm going to do a peaches and cream smoothie. That sounds good, especially with mine. Stony Creek Farm. Hey, have fun. I hope you have a good weekend too. Melanie, I hope you have a good weekend. I'll probably be talking to you this weekend sometime. So, all right, guys, that is all I've got for this. Well, let me see. Let me check my phone real quick. All right. All right. Well, guys, I will talk to y'all soon. Y'all have a good weekend. Be safe, and I will see y'all Monday night, 6:30. We have got crap. What is it? Let me see. What will that be? That will be the 23rd. All right. Yes, Monday night. Monday night, 6:30 Central Time. Jay with Prepared Citizens will be on. So he'll be on live with us. Jay's going to be at the festival. So we'll be sitting in talking to Jay. And then I forgot who we got Thursday. I'll tell you later. I forget. I've got my schedule upstairs. It should be down here. So, all right, guys. I appreciate it. I will see y'all Monday at 6:30 for a live with Jay from Prepared Citizens. And then I'll be on Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock. Y'all be careful and have an amazing weekend. Thanks.